What if the secret to a more sustainable and profitable farm was right above your head? Solar power is more than just a green alternative. It's a game changer for all farmers worldwide. From powering irrigation systems and greenhouses to preserving produce and running essential equipment, the benefits of solar energy in farming are endless. I'm curious to find out how I can go off-grid and also discuss the proper equipment that's needed for me to be completely off-grid on my farm.
Right now I have Arnold. Arnold, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Excellent. So my first question is, if I wanted to run a proper solar system, let's say on a small farm, 4 hectares, would I be able to do that with something like let's say a mast? That's for those small inverters.
So basically, it's only dependent on what you really want to do on that farm.
Okay.
Do you want to run the household? Do you want to run the irrigation project? Or do you want to run something else? So each brand maybe has got its own strengths and weaknesses, but you would want something that is quite versatile, intelligent enough to tell you that if there is this, but I can ignore it, you're using so much and you need to ramp up somewhere else. So this is where Victron comes in, because we have got a remote monitoring process and we can actually automate your house, automate your farming activities right from the system that you just buy once. So
So can you expand on that, the automation part of it?
all right, people don't know that when you buy a Victron, you're basically buying the future. Because the future is in automation, right? You're in a farming situation where you want to start your pump remotely. You
Yes.
can do it through the Ekrano, for example.
Okay.
We have got GX devices that can actually show you basically what is happening. How much you're harvesting from your panels, how much you're storing in your batteries, how much you're using from ZESA. You can even calculate and offset. It's also designed to push back into the grid
Okay.
from the same Victron system.
So if we were using, let's say, the Multiplus 2, we can actually put energy back to the grid.
Sure. It's actually designed from the box for that. So
And-
the only thing that you need to do is just contact ZESA. ZESA comes in and inspect, gives you a meter that is quite capable of you pushing back into the grid. That's it.
And then I get paid for
Yeah,
what
you-
I put back into the grid.
Yeah, you get paid or you just credit it back. So Victron is designed and built with that functionality already in place.
Okay.
It's just a matter of putting in settings, then you can just push back into the grid.
So my next question now is, let's say I've purchased one of these.
Sure.
My farm is growing, and I'd like to add more power. What happens then? Do I need to sell this, buy a bigger one? I mean, what happens then?
Usually when you want to set up things, we need somebody to come to your farm.
Okay.
And we get the gist of what you want to do. So basically what we want to do is not waste your money. We want to design something that will manage and be functional for a long time. But let's say you get to a point where you want to upgrade. So if you buy one now and you want to go to 30 kVA, you just buy another one and you put it aside.
Oh,
you
and then they're
power-
connected. Then they're connected together.
Yes.
So there's no need now to sell this and buy a bigger one.
Yes, you just buy another one. The same. It has to be the same
brand.
brand, make, and size. Then you just put them together. If you want to make a 3-phase system, just buy 2 more of these, and you've got a 45 kVA 3-phase system.
Right. Now, earlier on, you mentioned that purchasing Victron Energy is like investing in the future.
So
So now my next question is, how long do these last? I mean, what's...
I've some that are in the field for the past 9 years.
Okay.
I haven't gone back there to that site.
9 years so far.
9 years so far, I haven't gone back to that site. These things, they're really robust. And I think, especially for those who are in the low veld, Zambezi, this is a thing to buy. Because these things can withstand temperatures up to 45 to 50 degrees Celsius.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that temperature affects them. So how does the temperature affect them?
Well, anything, if you look at your panel, for instance,
Yes.
if it is forking out 500 watts, they say everything is tested out in standard testing conditions, which means it's in a lab right? And they give you results according to specific radiance, specific temperature, specific humidity. But now if you're out there in the world, right, heat affects the movement of electricity.
All right. Okay.
So where there is heat, there is increased resistance. So everything that is heated, be it a machine, it derates, which means if it's a 15 kVA, it might become a 10 kVA
Okay.
output-wise
Right.
if it
Right.
heats up. But these ones are so robust that they can withstand temperatures of 45 to 50 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
So when you're looking at putting something out there where it's going to be hot, less monitoring, if you put in a Victron, you never go wrong. Because
Okay.
they are designed to withstand. It's more like an industrial inverter than anything else.
Okay.
Yes.
So I noticed that because I actually have one of these. Sure. It's quite heavy. So and it's also very quiet. What is in here that makes it different to, let's say, a must?
Well, because these ones, they have got transformer based,
Right.
which means they've got a transformer in there,
Okay.
right? It's a coil copper wire that is put in there. And the difference now with this, because I know people say, okay, this is a hybrid and all that. This inverter, I think it's a few in the market that can take power from its output side. Take any other inverter, put power on its output side, it's going to blow. But this one can take power from the output side, which means you can put it with, let's say, Fronius,
Right.
which is a PV inverter. You actually connect the outputs of those two inverters
Into this one.
into this one.
Okay.
So it is going to detect power from the Fronius on its
Okay.
output side and actually take it, reverse itself, and start charging its batteries from the output side instead of the input side.
That sounds
Yes.
amazing.
So this can reverse. And this can interface with ZESA because it can actually read out the incoming wavelength and actually synchronize with ZESA and works with it in tandem. That's a true hybrid, not the other.
Oh, the
stuff.
other ones.
other
They
stuff
talk
that-
about hybrids, but it's not a true hybrid.
It's not a true hybrid. A true hybrid is an inverter that can synchronize with your local utility, synchronize its wavelength. It's to take up the wavelength of the incoming power.
We've spoken about the inverter itself. So it also needs a way to get the energy from the solar panels. So this is where we need a charge controller.
Sure.
So let's talk about the charge controllers and how these work together.
Okay. So basically we've got an array of charge controllers. We have the smallest and to the 250-100. But over there we'll go there and we'll talk about the RIS MPPTs, which is where we get the largest.
Okay.
Right. For these 250-100s, you can actually, I think you can put the 460s, you can have 18 of them working off this
18
one charge
solar
control.
panels.
Yes.
18.
Yes.
Are these connected in series or?
It's series parallel.
Okay. 18.
You can have 18
Is
connected.
that the maximum?
Yeah. Because these, they have got a maximum of 5.6 thousand watts
Okay.
at 48 volts.
Okay.
It cannot go. Okay. What kills an MPPT
Okay.
is the voltage
Right.
and the amperage, not the wattage.
Okay.
Let's say I put 6,000 watts worth of panels. It will just clip and utilize what it wants.
So the
So it
rest
will-
are just a waste of time.
It's not a waste of time, but because you do have that derating of panels with heat and all that.
Right.
So you'd find that if you say 5,000, if you put 6,000, because of heat, you might derate to 4.5.
Okay.
So having more panels is actually good, especially for weather like this.
Okay, I see now.
So that wattage, the extra wattage that you put in, when it's time for winter and rainy season, those extra wattage will
help. Okay.
So people now, they think it's an overkill to have so many panels, but it's actually a good thing. Because when you're designing a system, you want a system where you can actually run your loads and recharge your batteries at the same time.
Right.
So
So,
that's the
so in
scenario
this
that you
case,
said.
let's say with these solar panels that we add on this one, how does this differ now from this model to that model to that model? I mean, what's the main differences there? Because I can see some numbers there.
So what they've tried to do is we have tried to make sure that you don't get what you don't really want.
Okay.
So if you want to run a few panels and it's a small system, I won't let you get the 250-100. I'll just say I'll give you a 150-35.
Okay.
So 150-35, it means you can take less panels, less cost, and it's what you exactly want. 250-100 for somebody who wants a bigger system. 150-35 for somebody who just wants a smaller system.
A smaller system.
75-15 for somebody who wants to run their gate motor or their alarm system. You can just put this.
And also, this can do basic things like for the house, watching TV, the lights, and so on.
Yeah, well, this is basically for a very, very small system where you want to run a Wi-Fi and your gate motor. You can have a panel and just this one, and you have your gate motor being charged without utility.
Right. Okay.
So this would come in hand for very, very small system, alarm systems and your gate motor.
Okay.
So we try by all means not to stretch your pocket.
Yeah,
we give
so-
you exactly what you want to utilize, and an overkill is not needed for small systems.
Right.
So now if you're really, really serious and you want a very big system, like currently we've got 42 panels.
Okay.
Or those 42 panels, we have this one helping. You see, we had 250-100.
Yes.
Now we have got a 450-100. Here, we have 450-100. We have got a 450-200.
Okay, that's
So
a 450-200.
Yes.
Okay.
This 450-200 actually has 4 trackers in them.
Right.
So with this 450-200, you can actually have 28 panels of the 495 watt.
28 panels.
Yes, being handled with one in charge control. So you don't have a cluster. Like for if that one can take care of 18,
Yes.
for you to get to 28, you basically maybe need two of those. But you just need one of these.
One of these.
If
So-
you want to run 56 panels, you just need 2 of these.
So, 2 of these can run 56 panels.
Of the 595, 555, 595 range.
So now, when we're talking about 56 panels,
Yes.
this means now we have to increase our battery bank and the
The size of that?
the inverter. Yes.
Not really.
Okay, explain that.
All right, let's say I've got a 15 kVA right now, and these batteries, this is 15 kilowatt, 15 kilowatt, and we've got 42 panels.
Yes.
It depends on what you want to do.
Irrigation.
Yes.
I'm running all that
So
heavy
if-
load.
if- yes, if your heavy loads are going to be during the day, right, and you just have lighting during the night, there's no need for me to ask you to buy 6 batteries.
Right. Okay.
Because the batteries are for you to use when there is
No-
sun.
no sun,
Which
yes.
is during the night. I'll just ask you, okay, you need 1. But now because you are running heavy loads and you need 12,000 watts, 12,000 watts is going to be also 12,000 watts in the panels to run your loads, and more panels to charge back
charge the batteries.
The batteries.
while I'm running my.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, if you have got so much power, it doesn't really necessarily mean you have to add
Get more
of
batteries.
this. Your application is what is determining what you need.
Okay.
So
here,
for us, we don't just give you things.
Right.
We ask you what you want to do, and we design it according to what you want.
according to your application.
Your application.
So basically, we are saying, for us to have an efficient solar system, we need to calculate the loads and everything that you need, and then
Design,
based on
yes.
that, you design it.
Yes.
That's how we're going to determine
Whether
which charge controller we're going to need,
yes,
how many batteries we're going to need,
yes,
and also our inverter, the size of the inverter as well.
yes. So the size of the inverter, you can just relate it to your computer. If you're a gaming person, you need more resources, right?
Absolutely.
So basically, when you take an inverter, is it going to be able to run your 12,000 load
Yes.
at the same time? That's how you determine the size. You just put up a list, fridge, pumps, everything. You
add up
calculate,
all- yeah, you add up everything.
The calculation that you come up with, the wattage, is what you basically need on the size. Your run time is determined by the size of batteries.
Right.
right?
Okay.
Your number of panels is determined by the batteries that you've put in and the loads that you need to run at the same time. So if you don't do that, when winter comes and the weather is like this, you're going to be found wanting.
Right. Now that makes a lot of sense because
So-
sometimes, you can see this whole system and say, I want the biggest.
Yes. But now it's a wastage of resources if you don't really, you're not going to use
Utilize the maximum capacity
maximum.
of
Yes. So we go with what you really want. And if you need to upgrade, like what we said, you can parallel series, make a 3-phase later on,
Yes.
without any need of chucking away the ones that
the ones that
the
you bought
inverter
already.
that you've already.
No, I mean, thank you so much. I've actually gathered so much information.
Sure.
And yes, I really appreciate your help.
You're
Thank you
most
so
welcome.
much.
Yes.
Okay, great.